Hi, I'm Brickroad. Welcome to Let's Play Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles. If you watched my Let's Play of Symphony of the Night a few years ago where I played as Maria, this is the game that I used to play as Maria. It has a version of Symphony of the Night that you can play as Maria, but this time we're going to go in and play Dracula X Chronicles, which is the remake of Rondo of Blood, which is the game that predates Symphony of the Night, like the prequel of Symphony of the Night. So there you go, I named the file select after you. There are two player characters in this game, Richter and Maria, and Richter's no fun. He's standard Castlevania guy, and I don't like standard Castlevania guy. If you really want to see me struggle with it's just bad controls. Castlevania has bad controls, and that's where all of the challenge of the game comes from, is the bad controls. And there's somebody going to the comments right now to just be like, you only think that because you suck at Castlevania. And I do suck at Castlevania, that's true. Most Castlevania games, I'm terrible at them. But I have a Let's Play on this channel, it's like 40 videos long, of sitting down and forcing myself to learn every brick of the original NES Castlevania. And I can do a one credit clear of the game now. I'm pretty goddamn good at Castlevania, and I still think it sucks. I don't like the way the character controls in Castlevania 1 or Castlevania 3. Castlevania 2 is a different kind of beast. That's a whole different story. Castlevania 4 is one of my favorites because he doesn't control badly. He's got air control, you can whip in a bunch of different directions. It's a much, much, much more fun game. And then after Castlevania 4, I mean, they made Bloodlines on the Genesis and a couple of Game Boy games, but this is like the next official entry in the series after Super Castlevania 4, and it's just, the air control is nothing in this game. Richter, you can't turn him around in midair. You can kind of turn him back in midair, but... And then he's got this, like, backflip move, and I don't know. His attack has this long wind-up. I get it. It's some people's bag. I understand. It's not my bag. I don't want to play as Richter. I'm going to play as Richter just long enough that I don't have to play as Richter anymore. And then there's a lot of stuff to get through in this game. There's also a lot of fun little cutscenes that I guess we'll watch. And there's ninja skeletons. I mean, you can't say no to a ninja skeleton. You could, but I think if you do, they'll arrest you. Like, they do that, they do a census every couple of years to find out the population, and it comes around, and you tick off, you know, like occupation, gender, age, you know, race, nationality, whatever. And then one of the boxes says, are you for or against ninja skeletons? And if you check the box that says you're against ninja skeletons, we have camps, and you have to go live there and break rocks for a living.
Death will lose all meaning for you.
I had to practice this game for quite a while. There's a lot to learn in this game.
Hold a moment, Shaft.
I would say the difficulty level is about the same. Actually, probably a little easier than Super Castlevania 4, which is a game that I really love. How about this scene here where they have Dracula shrouded in mystery and you can't see his sprite? They just put his full-color artwork on the screen. So that's what Dracula looks like in this game. With the, I don't understand the pointed ears. Can somebody explain why does Dracula in these games have pointed ears? I mean, I get it's because anime, right? It's like he's an anime character.
We must prepare a proper welcome, Belmont.
And Rondo of Blood, the original Rondo of Blood, of which this game is a remake, is extremely anime. Like, the anime cutscenes are the draw for some people. So Richter Belmont is actually a pretty cool character if you play as him in Symphony of the Night or in Castlevania HD. He's this, he's like a crazy karate man, really. Oh, I got barreled. But unfortunately, in this game, he doesn't have any of his awesome karate moves that have come to kind of define the character. Like, he doesn't have his uppercut, he doesn't have his air dash. He's got the backflip, but that's about it. I need some food. Good. Meef. Who remembers Meef? Meef is good times, right? So, what's cool about this game is it predates the, like the standard Igavania formula of having, like, a big a big like open castle to explore. It has individual levels, like the old classic arcade-style Castlevanias, and the character controls like it's an old arcade-style Castlevania with the bad controls, because bad controls are challenging, and that's why people love Castlevania. I think, here's my counter-argument when people really love Castlevania games because of the bad controls. I'm like, just what you do is just break your controller, break it so it doesn't work anymore. Like, don't break it all the way. Break it a little bit, like maybe the up button sticks 50% of the time or something. And then every game you play can be as challenging as Castlevania. That's how I feel about the original Castlevania. But they made this game and they put Richter in it. And it is an old arcade-style Castlevania, but it has a lot of those exploratory elements that that kind of define the series from Symphony and then going forward from there, all the Igavania games. And we're going to see some of those in this playthrough. First, we have to beat this boss. One thing I really like about the bosses in this game is watch the health bar. Like, after I get the boss down to like 50% and then like 30% health, its health bar will actually like crack and break. It's actually pretty awesome. I got burned. This boss controls quite a lot of the screen for being the first boss of the game. Here you go, have an item crash. We're almost done here. And I love how you just literally break the boss's health bar and it shatters to a million pieces. Some bosses actually have death moves. Like, after you kill them, they do like one final attack that can still hurt you, but it can't kill you. The final attacks the bosses do, they're just there to kind of give you the middle finger a little bit. Because if you win a boss fight and you're at full health, you get a 1-up. So most bosses have a way to just screw you out of that 1-up at the very end there. We're going to see some of the exploratory elements in this stage here. This is stage number 2. This is going to be the first major thing we need to unlock in the game. And to get through this stage, you play by inches. I don't know a way to not play this stage by inches. We're going to take this knife, we're going to inch forward, throw the knife at these birds as we go. But if you walk too far and you trigger the birds, well, now there's birds all over the screen, and Richter just is not built to deal with birds flying all over the screen. Like, he just does not have the moves for it. So, I don't know. We don't have to play as Richter. This is the last level we'll have to play as Richter. Then there's this guy, and we'll just item crash him. All came right off his shield. I forgot to break his shield first. There we go. Now I'll item crash him. This guy might kill me. This guy might literally actually kill me. No, we're fine. We got it. I could have practiced this level more, because I knew I'd have to play at least this far as Richter, but I didn't. So now my hilarious failures are on the screen for all to see. So, this screen here, what I've learned is, like, don't jump, don't try to do anything super fancy, just get through it. Because this eyeball guy, he's our friend now. Like, he just lives with us. And if we stop to whip, like, the zombies behind us will catch up. So, if I stop again, that zombie behind me, he'll just come up behind me and pull my pants down is what will happen. But if we make it to the door, all the enemies die. So that's the strat there. So to watch carefully on this screen. Grandfather clock. The wall breaks down. And now there's a giant monster with his entrails hanging out following me. So we're going to jump this hole. Whip this candle here for a key. A key is a sub-weapon that doesn't do anything. And then all we have to do is survive to the end of this screen. We're almost there. I like how he stops there. I like how he stops like, wait a minute. Should I turn left and go up those stairs? So that's that. Now we can go down here. Now I think if I die on this screen, I have to replay the whole level to get this key back. So if I respawn here after the key, I don't have a way to go back and get it. But we're going to use the key, open this door. And inside, we meet two of the more important characters of the game. You might recognize this Joker if you've played Symphony of the Night, but you're not familiar with Rondo of Blood. This is Shaft, the sex machine to all the chicks. No, he's actually Dracula's right-hand man. Well, no, I guess Death is Dracula's right-hand man. So Shaft is Dracula's left-hand man. He's his left pinky finger. He's a dark priest who's trying to revive Dracula by doing unseemly things to all the little girls in the countryside, including Maria. So the first thing you have to do in this game is unlock Maria, and then you never have to play as Richter again. And isn't that wonderful? Not quite as wonderful as Maria's voice, though. Dig this mess.
Are you awake?
Mister, who are you?
I'm Richter Belmont. Don't worry, that man is gone. I paid him back for hurting you.
My name's Maria. Maria Renard. Are you the man Annette was talking about?
So,
You know
Maria's
Annette?
13,
Where
I
is she?
think, canonically. She's 13 in
We
this
were
game, and
together
then
when they
Symphony is
promised
5
her,
years
but
later, and she's 18 in
now-
that game. But she talks like a 4-year-old. She has a voice like she's a
I'll
4-year-old.
help you.
With what?
She also doesn't have, like, the
Well,
neon
we
pink
have to be
frilly
Batman.
dress in this
No,
game.
no,
And she does
just
refer to Dracula as
go
the
home
bad
back to your
man.
mom and dad. They're worried about you.
No.
In the original version of Rondo, which came out on a console called the PC Engine in Japan, which I only just recently learned is the same machine as the
Oh,
TurboGrafx
I'm sorry.
16, if you guys remember
So
that
I'm
at all
definitely coming
from the
with
early
you.
90s.
No,
Watching the
that's out of
commercials for like
question.
Bonk's
It's
Adventure
much
and
too
stuff.
dangerous.
That's the machine that Rondo of Blood
I
was
said
released
it,
on.
And I mean it.
And then
What was that just now?
it was, I thought it was a port, like it got a bad SNES
Such
port
power
called
this
Dracula
world holds.
X.
So this
But
is what he meant.
I watched a speedrun of Dracula X recently. I didn't want to play it, but I watched it. It looks like a completely new game. Like it's not the same levels, not the same bosses, not the same paths through the game. So it looks just like it's based on Rondo of Blood, but it's not actually Rondo of Blood. This is actually Rondo of Blood with new graphics and voice acting,
All right, I promise.
and a few new tricks in the level design. So Maria is now a playable character, which is perfect. So now we can just walk into this hole. And then we're going to start back here, I guess. I guess the guy's done chasing us. But if we, you see, if we had died there, we wouldn't be able to get that key. So there's a little bit of challenge in just keeping that key to the point of the level where you need it. You'll see up there it says credits 35, rest 1. Rest 1 is how many lives I have. Credit is how many times I can continue. And that's tied to how much money you've found in the game. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but the money in this game isn't just points. It determines how many times you can continue, and when you back out to the main menu, it remembers how much money you have, and then you can buy things from the shop, like boss demos, like how to beat the bosses and things. And that should be our last life. That's it. Game over. Thanks for watching. Shoutouts to Anonymous Contributor for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.